This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think my mic was on. Hold on. Let me check the stream. Is it on? I think my mic was on. There we go. Yep. Okay. It's on now. My bad. All I said basically was I was waiting for 601. Hey, 420. Funny number. Figured out I could crouch, which was cool. And I said, no way. Oh, what the hell? Let me in here. I said, no way. He was actually happy at his job. That's pretty much all I said.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, he entered the door on his right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
What the fuck? Whoa.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I'm gonna be so dead ass.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I don't... The little hand, it means it's 10.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Shut the fuck up, I'm trying to read the clock. It's 10.
Stanley sat around waiting for more
Shut
dialogue.
Oh my fucking
but
god.
A long time had passed, but at last he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Where is everybody? Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. I feel like I'm gonna die. Ah!
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please,
What did I forget about?
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her? My wife?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
I want her
She's
back.
been waiting.
She has. She just through that door. There's nowhere else I can go. Might as well. Ah!
That's her, Stanley.
It is?
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
Really?
If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I will. I don't know how, though. How do I pick up the phone? Pick it up. I picked it up. Where the hell am I?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about...
You're down.
No!
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
I
Who'd
thought
want to
so.
commit their life to you?
Fuck you.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Piece of
I'm
shit.
trying to get you to see something. Come
You
inside.
motherfucker.
Let me show you what's really going on here.
What is really going on here? Hey.
This
kinda-
is a very
ooh.
sad story
Look, she got
about
nipples.
the death of a man named
She-
Stanley.
What? I'm dead?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly
Fuck
what he's
you.
told to do.
You
Now he's
motherfucker.
pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
You
One might even
motherfucker.
feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands.
Mommy?
It was wonderful. And each
Puppies?
day that he returned to work was a
Puppies?
reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
What the hell is the
First,
TV
he
at?
imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
To spend time with the boys? Oh, hell
So
yeah, with the
he
boys.
went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths
I'm
and
playing Stanley
destinations.
Parable.
Down one path lay an enormous round room
Have you played it
with
before?
monitors and mind controls.
kinda weird.
And down another was a yellow line that
Yeah.
weaved in many directions.
It's like,
And
the
down another
narrator,
was a
he,
game with a
like-
baby.
He like gives
And
you
he
like a
called
choice to
it
do something,
the
and you
Stanley
can like ignore
Parable.
him, and he'll like actually talk to you and shit. Please press X to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond
Next time he
hope
asks me
that
to
it
do
would
something, I'm
never
not gonna do
end,
it.
that he might always feel
Fucking
this
dickhead.
free. Surely there's an answer down some new path. Mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Please, I love you.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
What the
In
fuck?
reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
No.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
I'd like to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That
I'll
in this
listen to you.
world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. I'm not doing it. I'll press any other button. Not pressing it. He told me not to. He told me no. He said, don't do it. He said, no. I'ma do it.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
I can
How
hear
can I tell
you.
him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Please press to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Okay.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see.
I will
Maybe
obey
this
you.
time. And I tried again.
Please,
Stanley
what?
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Please die. What? I wish that was a real button. That's a joke. I do not want to kill myself. Nor do I think anyone should kill themselves. Okay. We're back. We're back for some reason.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He entered the door on his left. Yes, he did. Stanley's a good little bitch. The Fortnite map! Can you imagine? This door's weird. Why is it not got a number? Let me in.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What the hell? What's over this way? Executive bathroom. I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course, so that's a lovely purse. Huh. Okay. What the fuck? Is that a panda with a gun to his head? What the fuck? Which one's his office? This one looks more office-y. No, it doesn't. Business strategy? What the fuck? Oh, I have a little cursor, I just realized. See what happens if I go up. Oh, hell yeah. shit a jam, bro. All right. What is this? There we go. Huh. Okay. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What the hell? Oh, hell no. Is this a scary game? This is a weird corner. I like this corner. This is my corner. Is this a scary game? Am I tripping?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Some Star Wars type shit.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
That says escape. But that is suspicious. I feel like I might get mind controlled if I go in that way. But this does say escape in all red letters, so I think I'm gonna go this way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. Okay.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely die if I do that.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
What?
And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and short life.
Fuck.
Farewell, Stanley.
Terrified. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, narrator guy.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh! What the hell? The fuck? Girl narrators. Whoa.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Girl narrator kind of saved me.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What the fuck? That what? Oh my gosh. What the hell? Is the credits? What the fuck? Nah. Stanley was supposed to fight aliens? What the hell? From Sylvia, subject, final warning. No, fucking dickhead. I couldn't read all that. Wow. The hell? Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Am I gonna restart when that ticks? Don't ring. Apartment timer in the previous version of choice leading to the apartment ending. A timer will give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. What the hell? Ooh, switches. Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. I'll pull that one. Okay, whatever, fuck you. This game is now paused. Begin the game. Oh, the escape menu. I haven't even opened that. Oh, God. Let's get out of here, I guess.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I like the guy, I think, better.
Can you
Let's
see?
restart.
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I'm not turning off my PlayStation. Fuck you. Huh. The only real choice I can ever make is to...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
She said we have to work together.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna listen to him. Whatever he says, I'm gonna do it. No
Yet there
matter.
was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Are you fucking serious? Just open the fucking thing already, narrator.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright, let's fucking do this.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I have an idea of what this is. Is it just gonna be me in different lives? Am I smart, little narrator? What does it say? Can't even see it. How do I turn them on? Oh. Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom...
Wait, what am I?
meant
427, 427... 427... So he's just been spying on us? Jump off? No. Oh, wait, I can't get out. Oh, I can go this way, though.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it?
Unthinkable.
Was it even possible?
Not even possible.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yeah. Controls idle awaiting input.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After
No.
they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I honestly hate to see it go.
You motherfucker.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
What do you want me to do?
Oh, dear me. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Fuck you.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button.
Shut up.
Screen to screen. Clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons.
Fuck you.
No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything. Something here will save me.
Fuck
Why
you.
would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
How much time do I got? 3 seconds!
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life?
Shut up,
or will
shut
you
up,
let
shut
it
up,
go
shut up, shut up,
peacefully?
shut up.
Another choice. Make it count. Or
Shut up.
don't. It's all the same to
Kill
me.
yourself.
All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Okay. So, he's just gonna fuck with me. Okay. Whoa!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Fuck
Stanley
you.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, I'm not fucking listening to you. I'm not fucking listening to you.
When Stanley came to a set
motherfucker.
of two open
Shut up.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just
Just
to
to
admire it.
admire it.
Wow. Yes.
Yes.
This
This
room.
room.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
What's up,
Good
bitch?
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks
Yeah.
you're very powerful.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Okay, fine. I'll see how this goes. I'll go back.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Whoa.
What could it mean?
Wait,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
hold on, what? The fuck?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What the fuck? Why was the thing different?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
That coffee cup wasn't
Did the
there,
voice not
was
see
it?
him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Wait.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What the fuck?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the hell?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings,
I'm a girl now?
and walked to her place of work.
Oh,
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What the fuck? What the hell?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
What the hell? Whoa. Okay. This is strange.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered
He
the
entered
door,
the door
on his
left. Which I will go. I'm just gonna obey him. I'm just gonna do everything he wants me to do.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
I feel like one time there's gonna be something back here. Hello, it is me. I don't know why I can go back there. It's weird. I was gonna type in 6969, see if he said, ah, funny. Stanley, you're hilarious. I thought maybe, but no. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Stanley is a good little bitch.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Don't care.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Stanley was getting bored. He knew that he must obey the narrator to finally get out of the game.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
We're gonna set them all free. Because I
This mind-controlled
Stanley
facility,
Parable.
it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I want to talk about something.
All right. I'd like to say something.
Okay.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even
unimaginable.
possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Okie dokie.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for
all.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet,
Still feel like you're fucking
even
up.
as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I don't trust it.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, I beat the game. It says beat the game. Complete the Stanley Parable. Oh, cool. Get your first trophy. Ordered for getting any of the other trophies as your first reward. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, I got a trophy level up too. I increased in trophy level. Alright, well, let's just fuck around now.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others.
Okay.
So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Okay. That's fucked up. Oh.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Well, that's what it's... I don't know. I know, right? That looks nice. Let's go see what the new content is. Oh, God. Okay. I think we should be good. Oh, this is so sketchy.
Hello, and thank you you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
From, that's the game that I bought. I bought the Ultra Deluxe version.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving
We're gonna
somewhere?
fall, aren't we?
Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Woo!
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
What the fuck is this?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I feel like I die if I if I go all the way. Hold on. Five left. Oh, we just can't jump anymore? Are you fucking serious? Well, that was fun, because we couldn't jump before anyways, but it was nice to jump.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
This looks interesting. Oh, right in the wall. Okay. Thank you for enjoying...
It? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What
No
quality
way.
assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about.
I don't want to
No
reset the
frills,
game.
no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Okay.
What do you say, friend?
I don't really want... Oh, okay. Fuck you. I didn't really want to, but... Okay. This is... different again.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
No! What the fuck? Oh, might as well. I like the narrator. What's up, buddy? What did you want to show me?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What the fuck?
I
Whoa.
call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched?
No.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Wow. I never played it before, so it is actually my first time narrator. The first dollar, eh? Huh. This is nice. This is nice.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Which way do we go? Oh, can't even go that way. Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Well, you know, it is how it is, man. Get these open back up.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the Memory Zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No, you're
can
good,
tell
man.
me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You're
Oh,
good.
goodness.
You're good, man.
This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
Damn.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's
sorry
this
you feel
one
that
to
way,
say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I feel like I'm gonna fall. Oh, we're good. I don't really want to press that. I like when you talk. Huh.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. Got the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably...
Okay, I can't, I'm stuck.
Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy rumination. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works.
Yeah.
Perhaps that would have been a smart thing. Okay. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes.
30 minutes?
Unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
What the fuck?
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me?
Oh, God.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year.
A
year?
Have you
ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Narrator? Hello? Buddy? Ah, what is that? Oh my God. What is that noise? Stop. The clock fell. Also stop ticking. That is so goddamn annoying.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end,
Yo.
is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
I feel so bad. Is it leaking? Yo, it's gonna be like filled with water. There's gonna be an inch of water. What the fuck? Narrator? It has been years. Oh my God. What the hell? Wish there was a skip button in real life. Wait, what happened? What happened to the peaceful? This is terrifying. Oh, the button fell. Where are we? What the fuck? Narrator? Homie. Where are we? How did this happen? What the fuck? Bro. What the fuck? I'm gonna go press it again. Was it broken? Oh, it's broken. Which way do we go? Oh, I didn't do anything. The end is never the end is never the end is never. Bro, what the fuck? Please speak.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Yeah. Funny. New content. Ah.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Well, let me see it, bro. Let's see what's happening. Alright. Glad I didn't have
You
to
see,
go
Stanley,
through that whole thing
I've
again.
been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh shit, okay.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
That is true.
Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are.
There's no
Go
way.
on, try out some of the new features. For
No
the
way.
Stanley Parable 2,
No fucking
I
way.
asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
No.
Isn't that wonderful?
You're lying. You're lying.
Jim.
Sorry,
No.
I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. And
Oh.
of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Okay.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim. Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim. Seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim. And as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Okay.
Do you feel it deeply?
I do.
Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I am
If
Jim.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
Okay. Wow. What a great day to be Jim. Whoa. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game? That's weird. My name's Jim. Let's see.
Jim.
No! What?
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That
What
was
the
you!
fuck?
The
Oh my
button described
God!
You! Do it again! Do it again!
Jim.
Oh my God!
It's even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
It's funny as hell. Let me out. Where are we going? What's the next door, homie?
Too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
My name is Jim.
Jim.
My name is Jim. That's wow. What a crazy button. Imagine you press that shit and your name is actually Jim. You'd be like, what the fuck?
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah. Infinite hole? Collectibles? Free trophy. You know I fucking love free trophies. Free new plus easy trophy. Hell yeah, dude. I'm always here for a new trophy. Where? Where's the trophy at? Get yours now. Pull the lever, receive new trophy, no more steps. Oh, for real?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world
fucking
who have
serious?
been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay. Well, I feel like I can still get it, though. I gotta click something. Right? Like, I can make it work. Let's see, this goes here. And this goes there, and voila! Fucking dickwad. Let's go to the infinite hole, I guess. Not a real infinite trophy, or not a real
What
free
else?
trophy.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The infinite hole. No screenshots. Wait, what?
Yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy
fucking
12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Really? But this one's just so much better. What the fuck? Okay. Are you what the fuck?
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with...
Nope.
No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Wait, I want to go... The reassurance bucket? I want to go to the infinite hole. I missed that place. Infinite hole, this way. Jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
No, give me a few jumps. Just a few. You're so lame. Let's go to the infinite circle. What does the infinite circle do? Rim, depth, infinite? You're lying there,
Stanley,
reader.
here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Are you sure?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the...
I don't believe this is infinite.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
I don't
Maybe
believe
do
this
it
is
on the
infinite.
sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that this is infinite.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole?
Yes.
To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I like my hole. And I'm gonna stay. Got my mug, my new mug. Got my paper. I got a meeting at 2 p.m. And I got my other paper for my meeting at 2 p.m. And I got just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. Oh, what a W man's. Every pause button is a Roman numeral 2. Okay. What the fuck? And then just quite a lot of cigarettes. I kind of miss him.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even... Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
There's a big hole. I like
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the
Yeah, it's not working.
teleport button not working?
Nope.
You sure?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago.
Well,
Try
I can't get
again.
out of the hole. Doesn't work.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Make the hole
I'm
even
out.
smaller.
Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a
Hey.
win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
Hey, let me
I
out.
hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
You did not. You're acting like you faded away. I can guarantee you didn't fade away. What the hell is that noise? Alright, I'm gonna sing my song again. Where's it at? Right here. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Am I tripping? Is this hole getting deeper? Okay. It was my song, I guarantee. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. Narrator. Narrator, please. Let me out. Whoa, what the hell? That's me? What the fuck? Why do I look like that? You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
No,
From the
please,
looks
just
of
let me
things,
go.
You and I will have many, many years here in this
No,
hole. And I'm
please.
looking forward to all of them.
Please.
Stay alert, Stanley. I'll
Oh.
be back.
Don't put me back in that hell. Please. No. Please. I'll leave the hole. Please. Oh, thank God. I might go back, though. Maybe.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
You heard Jim in the game. The button that says Jim. So he's changing things as I'm realizing they're not that good. Let's go to the reassurance room. I already went through that door. Mostly infinite hole. Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. Let's go to the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see,
Okay.
Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Let me
You
have
may
the
even
bucket.
come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh yeah, give me that bucket, baby. What the fuck?
Can you feel it?
No.
A glow of comfort, even in the
You just
face of
freaked me
crushing
out.
despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
I like
In
my bucket.
fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
It does. I
I
like
think
the
that just
bucket.
holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I like my bucket. Let's go. I feel good with my bucket.
Does
I
anyone
gotta-
give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
No.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I'm gonna go take this to my hole. Collectibles. Is that me? Am I Jim? No. Fuck. Damn it, that button really did fuck me up. Collectibles, eh? Well, I feel good going in here with my bucket.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's
Where?
truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
I'm so glad I have my bucket. Oh, but it's so nice. I gotta get an achievement. There's gotta be an achievement for getting all of them, though.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Looking for my Stanleys. Looking for my Stanley Parables. My Stanley Parable collectibles. Gotta be here somewhere. Hello? My Stanley collectible parables? Or my Stanley Parable collectibles, please? I'd enjoy that, please. I feel like that car was about to start. I like my bucket, though. Do I have anywhere it jumps in the jump circle? No? Okay. Let's go back to my infinite hole. Wait, you're not gonna let me back in my infinite hole? The fuck? What the hell? Let me back in. I never get to show the bucket, the hole. fine. I'm gonna go take a screenshot, you little dickhead. I'm gonna take a screenshot in the place you're not supposed to take a screenshot. That's new. Ah! Clipped, loser.
Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
This is not what I chose, dickhead. Taking screenshots. Loser. Fucking dickhead. Might go press the gym button later. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Jump circle, mostly infinite all. Wait, but this doesn't. Take a screen. This baby's all grown up. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Narrator. What the fuck is this? Oh, the epilogue. Ooh. I'm not leaving. Never leaving. I have my bucket. I like my bucket. My reassurance bucket. And I enjoy it.
Jim.
Oh, bro, can you imagine I say it one time and she's like, Josh. I'm like, what the? I am Jim. I am Jim from now on. You and I, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. You and I. Jump circle. This map. Free trophy. It doesn't work though. The button, this is the name of the player. Merch, settings, world. Champion, the Stanley Parable, research, bucket, office decorations, epilogue, collectibles, infinite hole, exit. So that's the exit. I'm actually so tired. What time is it? 7:40? Jesus. Okay. Sorry, I was looking. What does this do? Is this a button? One of these gotta click. Jump circle, exit? Is this the exit? I might leave. If I get to keep...
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I kind of want my hole back, but it's okay. Let's go. Why is there a red glare over everything? Screenshot. Bitch.
So, Stanley,
Ah!
what do you think?
She's sorry.
Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay. Let's do it, man.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Number 2. Whoa. It's,
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this.
You go.
Here we
You go, bro. You go.
Version 2.
Version 2.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
I feel a lot better with my bucket.
Go ahead. Take a look.
If I don't fucking have my bucket, I will murder you. Oh, what? Oh, shit. Let's fucking begin the game, baby.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I'm gonna listen to him.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Funny number.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. Stanley felt the bucket calling to him.
Hell yeah. Can't believe I missed you. Mwah. I love you, Bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I love the bucket. It's my little. I feel so good with this bucket. I feel like I could do anything.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So
I actually got so excited
I
when I
implore you to
found that.
savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
So that was cool. Thanks, Bucket. I could go in there last time. What the hell?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always.
Thank God.
The bucket would. And he knew it.
Yeah.
The two of them were inseparable.
I love the bucket.
At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
I did,
Nor in
actually.
his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. "2845. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well,
Stanley got the
what did
hell.
do?
Oh, that's funny as hell. Got a
Another
Stanley
miniature Stanley
collectible.
figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini stands, I like it.
What about Stanlerines? Yes,
No, I like mini
think
stands.
I like that.
I like mini
Another
stands.
Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay. Still nothing over here. Okay. I feel so safe with the bucket. Genuinely. The bucket does make me feel safe.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
If he tells me I'm gonna die, I'll turn
This
around.
passageway had the word escape written on it. The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would... But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much to live for.
Mm-hmm. Too much to live for.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed
Whoa.
with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I thought I could skip. And his dialogue. Wait. Fucked up or something. Ah.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Hey, you're good. You're good, bucket. Fuck is that one? What does that one say? The hell?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
For real. I love this bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh, that's so bucket. Let's go take down the system, Queen.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Hey, Bucket. I think we could mind control them and take it for ourselves. Or do you just want to release everybody? Okay. Okay, fine. We'll release everybody. Bucket's orders.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
Yeah.
The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility
Throw the bucket! Throw the bucket! Let him have a good life.
Presence of the bucket needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
No.
Go to any lengths
Throw it.
not to
Throw it. Let the bucket have a good life.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Where did my bucket go?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Feels good. It does feel good to have the bucket. The bucket gives me a weird sense of comfort.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact.
No,
He
the
was
bucket's
firmly
a
convinced that the
homie.
bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Well, whatever. It's a bucket. We love the bucket.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Wait, which
Stanley
dark room?
once again obeyed blindly.
This one? This dark room right here? Okay, bucket.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Really? Okay, bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket.
Where did my
Once
bucket go?
upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then,
Bucket?
very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket? Oh, bucket!
The Stanley
work.
Parable Reassurance Bucket was
Where'd
merely
it go?
meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't
Bucket?
literally talk and give you orders.
Bucket?
Whatever Stanley is
Hey.
hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Hey, bucket.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Let's go back to work, bucket.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me.
What?
It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
But it's my bucket. Don't listen to loud man. Yeah, you're right.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Hey,
You know,
bucket.
once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares
Been a
about
while.
is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
To ignore anyone in your life except for me? Of course, bucket. I'll do anything.
Sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty
Hey,
bucket.
bucket.
This sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Yeah.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to
No.
me. Give me the bucket,
No.
Stanley. I need it. Give it to
No.
me now. Give it or I'll...
Where is she? Where's my bucket narrator?
Already this was uncomfortable, And Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, the confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
As long as we're together, Bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
What? I thought so. I knew it. I'm so certain that there will be.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Come on, we got this, Bucket. We got this. I knew it. I knew there would be
I'm going back to
something.
the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic
I like
sense
mini
of happiness
stands.
that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
I like mini stands. Mini stands is my favorite one,
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly
This is not
wrong.
my bucket.
Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket. Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay. Oh yeah. Hey, bucket?
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Never gone this way.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the fuck?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
No.
The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
I like the bucket.
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
I've never seen the Adventure
Now,
Line.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I don't want to
Don't you
give
get
it
it,
up.
Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
I don't
That's why
want
I'm very
to.
proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
What?
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also
No.
was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been
Oh.
part of the cast all along. Don't you
No.
agree?
No. I'm not
Can
destroying
you
the
guess
bucket.
what the Bucket Destroyer does?
No.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
No.
Go ahead now, Stanley.
Not destroying the
Say
bucket.
goodbye to the bucket.
I'm not.
And then
I'm not
pop it
doing
into
it.
the machine when you're
I'm
ready.
not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Now listen to me. It's crucial
No.
that you give it the bucket.
No.
I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular
Nope.
personality
Nope.
trait.
Nope.
Sure,
Nope.
I can
Nope.
hear you
Nope.
saying, how
Nope.
does a
Nope.
character with only
Nope.
one
Nope.
personality
Nope.
trait
Nope.
deserve to
Nope.
join the
Nope.
pantheon
Nope.
of beloved
Nope.
Stanley
Nope.
Parable
Nope.
characters?
Nope. Nope.
Well, you
Nope.
see,
Nope.
if you were to
Nope.
really
Nope.
explore the
Nope.
Bucket
Nope.
Destroyer,
Nope.
you would
Nope.
see
Nope.
that its
Nope.
desire to
Nope.
crush
Nope.
buckets is so densely
No.
loaded with complexity and nuance that it's
Not
really
taking my
like
bucket.
10 personality traits. What
Not taking
other
my bucket.
object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom
Not taking
Closet?
my bucket.
Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
Yeah, I take my bucket.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. for the moment in time that you were here. You were magnificent.
I'm crying. Do I get my bucket? Wait, there's a phone ringing. That's new.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Who's that? Do I have a wife? Meeting today. Wait. No. I don't need the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh God, I feel so alone without the bucket. God, I wish my bucket was here. I don't need it.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
It's a bit strange.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I feel so unsafe without the bucket. I really do. Seems as if...
Here's the door. Just go.
I'm gonna get it right. Are you ready? 2. Fuck. Where's 8 at? Is it... Okay. 2. Fuck. 8. 8 is right there. 2. 8. 4. Fuck. Fuck, I was so close. 2. 8. 4. 5. Oh. That looks like a keypad. It's not. Gotta look out for those Stanley collectibles, am I right? I don't feel very great without my bucket right now. Kinda missing it, honestly. So I gotta get home to my wife. God, I feel so unsafe without my wife. Not my wife. Well, kind of my wife.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
red button. Then he pushed the number 8. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice forever. Stanley walked over the bridge. Stanley stood on the roof. Oh, for crying... Is this that other building? Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about...
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
What the hell? What the fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Adventure Line. We're gonna throw the bucket away.
Whee! Look at that great line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
Okay.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
Okay.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Goodbye, Bucket. I
Now listen
truly
to me.
loved you.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That
love you,
is
Bucket.
its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one
can't.
personality trait
How do I
deserve
give
to
it to
join
him?
the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket
Give it the
Destroyer,
bucket.
you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really
I'm sorry,
like 10
Bucket.
personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I don't understand why I couldn't give him the bucket, but...
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
What?
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Oh, fucking don't trip me out like that, fucker.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Oh, no. Oh, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay, I think I'm done.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Did you see that? No way. I'm tripping right now.
Here's the door, just go. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Hold on. We're gonna begin this shit again. And I'm gonna go through the right door.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
Yeah,
Is
it
this
is.
Stanley's office?
Yeah, it is. We're not gonna pick up the bucket. But you know what we are gonna do?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I see what happens without the bucket.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. There's a new ending that I'm gonna unlock.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket's gone. Wait, what? The bucket's gone.
When Stanley... Wait.
What the fuck?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
The bucket's
Stanley,
gone.
Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, okay. We're not going through those. Hell no. These, baby.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his courage was gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What movie? Which one? Are you still at the Bruh?
We're watching it right now. Would it take a breath out here?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
So what the hell do we do now? What the fuck? No. I swear to God there was something in that, bro. Let's just go back to my office.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay, follow the line.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart. You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Back at it again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The bucket is back. Huh. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh, I'm tired.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation, then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there.
Alright, I'm tired, so I'm gonna end it.